how do you plan for something that's so unknown? That's the million-dollar question, right? Our care needs in the future are so difficult to predict because we don't know if it's going to be gradual, sudden, how long-term it's going to be. Is it going to be something that's quick? Is it going to be something that's going to require care for years on end? Planning ahead for healthcare needs is so important because we know for all of us it's inevitable. The issue is figuring out exactly what type of healthcare needs to plan for. Is the healthcare going to be sudden, gradual? Is it going to be mental or physical? For a lot of people, it's a mix of all these things. So understanding ahead of time on how to proactively get ahead of this is so important. My recommendation is to sit down with your loved one, whether that's a spouse, adult children, or just trusted professionals, and go over what I call transition triggers. At some point, many of us have issues with typical things like driving, cooking, home maintenance, basic chores around the home, and all these things are something that can be planned for. For instance, think of just your annual home maintenance. What are you responsible for? For me, it's things like cleaning out the gutter, pruning the gardens, making sure the snow is all removed. And these things over time can either just become tedious and boring and sometimes unsafe. So it's important to not just realize that that's coming down the pike, but come up with a solution for how we're going to handle that and figure out when are we going to handle it? What triggers it? So these transition triggers, let's say for home maintenance, you could say, okay, when I'm really unable to, for whatever reason, able to get around my property in order to do landscaping, I have a few options. The option could be to just defer it and not bother, which we've all seen. The other option could be to delegate it, which could be to family, depending on your relationships, or depending on your resources, to an outside professional. Or third, you can just kind of eliminate or minimize the problem by putting yourself in an environment where you don't have to do these type of chores anymore. So my recommendation would be that we don't defer it, as many people do. But the second option maybe is a great option, but temporarily. And I think that's the point where you want to get in front of a professional and figure out how long could I afford to delegate this? How much is my family willing to do for me and for how long? And this is all about communication and just really being honest with yourself as you make these assessments. The third option is going to always be available to you. You don't have to be in a rush to do it, but it's something that you can get ahead of and start reviewing for. Which community is the right fit for me? What do I find valuable within a community? What's that going to cost? Where am I going to be going? What do I do with all my current things? How does my life look there? It's a wonderful way to just get the conversation started with your family and trusted professionals, and really see what solutions are available to you.